Hey guys, welcome back to Community for All of Us, and we are here at Lumberton's Toy and Comic Con, and I am here with Andy, who is an artist. And how you doing, Andy?
Doing well. How are you?
Very good. Now, I saw you here a couple years back. I didn't see you here in October, but unless I missed you, if I did, I apologize. I am horrible. You're an artist. Now, you do your own stuff, or you do other stuff? Tell us a little bit about you.
I do a little bit of both. So I do some freelance art, and I also have my own comic book. I'm working on issue 4 right now. I do the covers for the book, and I actually have an illustrator out of the UK named Mark Olivan who does the interior work. Fantastic work. And I go around to comic conventions selling my stuff and just kind of chilling it all out.
How did you get into it? What was the thing that brought you into comics and
So I come from kind of a family of artists. My father's an artist, and my older brother was always an artist growing up. So I've just been kind of drawing my own stuff for a while, and I moved to Atlanta when I first got out of high school, and I met a guy that was creating his own book, and he kind of showed me the ropes of like how to create it, how to build a world, and really how to piece it all together. So yeah, I just kind of followed in his footsteps, and then I worked a bunch of print jobs, so I kind of learned the background of actually putting the book together. And yeah, I've just been I've been doing the convention scene for 5 or 6 years now. But yeah, I've been drawing my whole life, so it's just kind of.
So, art is in many different fields. What was it about the comics that you wanted to do your art, the stuff, your storytelling and stuff as a comic book instead of like writing a novel or doing another route? Was there a reason why you kind of chose to go this direction?
It's really just my love for comics. I've been reading comics since I was a little kid, so I just kind of wanted to build on that. And I feel like comics, you can be so much more creative than you can with anything else. Like obviously, if it's a novel, you can write anything, but with comics, like when you draw something, like you could draw literally anything. You don't have to worry about a budget that you're kind of constrained to, or this or that. And you can be as weird as you want. Like that's a good thing about comics. Like there's so many people that just do different things, and it's not just the same old tropes over and over and over again. It's I don't know. It's just fun.
In the comic books, though, was there a type of artist or writer that you were influenced by that you like? Because for me, Todd McFarlane's right up there. I love,
definitely.
Making Spider-Man is incredible. I love Spawn. I'm all in for Spawn. So, is there someone like that?
Yeah. McFarlane is a huge influence.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, that guy does it all.
Yeah.
I mean, not only does he do comics, but he creates toys. He does He's done movies. He's done everything. Jim Lee was a huge art influence growing up. I'll never touch his mastery, but that's definitely one of my favorites. And I'd say Joe Maggiera is probably at the top of my list too.
Okay.
Another one of my favorite like creators.
Right.
I really appreciate creators. Like obviously, like I love Stan Lee.
Really nice guy. Got to meet him.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed.
Was at the Heroes Con several years back, and the Heroes are hard to find, which Sean that runs it. I got to meet him through that when he came that way, so it was really cool. And talking about, like you were saying, you had like a mentor that showed you how to build these worlds up. And you're like, you talk to someone like, Stan Lee, and you just automatically had those worlds in his mind, and how they did that. So building up a comic and building things up, how do you create your world? What is your world?
It's tough. I mean, so I did a lot of research on. I'm a big like mythology and folklore fan.
Okay.
And I took a lot of different kind of ancient religions and kind of pieced a lot of things together that were commonalities.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be cool if I could kind of pull a lot of that stuff together and kind of create my own what happens when you die kind of situation.
Okay.
So that's kind of a little piece of my book. The book's a little bit like I would say it's more of a modern Dante's Inferno.
Okay.
Mixed with some kind of superhero influences, a lot of kind of supernatural demon kind of stuff going on.
Okay. Okay. So and Jinn and other things like the paranormal also
yeah.
comes into it.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. Because you're now talking into my background. Because I'm into ancient texts, ancient mysteries. And stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I've done stuff and actually got to see like the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that. And so to me, you're like speaking my language right there. Doing this and creating that from that life in that direction, a lot of times you do get into the whole side, and I don't want to get into, y'all know I don't want to get political about religions, but in that, how do you balance that? Do you just like make your whole world in this world here, this is how that works? Or
Yeah, so that's it's definitely some eggshells to walk on when you're kind of playing this game, but most of what I've done is I created an underworld.
Okay.
And I take a lot of like different creatures from all the different mythologies and like kind of throw them into each world to things that go together. So I took kind of like the 9 rings of hell, but I separated it, and it's basically just 9 worlds all together. So there's 7 layers to the underworld.
right.
And each one's going to be very stylized, depending on like the animals, the colors, like everything. I want to really kind of stylize that. So the book starts out regular Earth. I would say it's kind of like, it's not our Earth, but it's kind of like an offshoot, sort of like how DC does their books. But I started off really kind of grounded the story, and then as I'm digging into it, I'm just going to explode it all,
Nice.
destroy everything,
Okay.
and then rebuild the world the way I want to see it.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really interesting. But you'll see a lot of that in storytelling. Someone trying to create their own independent ideals in their book that can resonate with everyone. Why did you pick horror? Or not horror, but supernatural stuff?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a mix of horror. I grew up on horror.
There you go.
Same thing with again. I guess I go back to my father. Like he was letting me watch like Freddy Krueger when I was like 6 years old. So like, yeah, no, I'm a big horror fan. I love monsters. I love all things dark. I mean, if you look at my stuff, like pretty much everything has some kind of dark influence in it. So yeah, I like to create what I think is cool.
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but as an artist, there's many forms of different way of doing it. You got, like I was talking to an early guy, as a dinosaur, the pen and ink. Do you do still? I see a lot of your artwork, see a lot of stuff with pen and ink. Do you do the digital side of it at all, or do you focus?
Yeah, I'd like to blend the worlds because I started messing with Photoshop when it first came out many moons ago.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I met my kind of mentor, I was coloring his work digitally. So yeah, he was kind of dinosaur too. Like he would color everything with like crayons, basically. When I do that, I gotta help you here.
Right.
So I kind of stuck with that. I like drawing by hand. I like pencil and ink. I have a tablet at home,
Right.
but I mainly only use it for the colors. Like I can draw digitally on there, but I don't know. There's something authentic about actual pencil and ink on paper that kind of resonates with me more than anything else.
I have to agree with you because I've worked on different projects and I was always called a dinosaur, but yet when you're working on a movie and your producer comes in, they want something that's tangible. You got it on your tablet. You can't unless you're going to find a way to print it out. But something that's tangible, they're like, okay, I'll take that. And they go with it. As dealing with the pen and ink and art. And storyboarding and everything. So you said you're working on the 4th issue. So you're now worked on the first 3. Is there anything that you have learned that you would like to share with people about what to do, what not to do?
I guess not so much as the art that I could share, but I would say when you're creating something, know how it's going to end. Like, you don't have to write literally the entire everything,
Right.
but know your entire arc at least, where you want to go, and kind of piece everything in between. Like, it's fun to just kind of start a book and write from the beginning, and like, I like the idea of telling a story straight from the beginning, but if you don't really know where you're going, you hit a lot of hiccups. Like, I guess after I finished my first issue, even though I kind of knew where everything was going, you see a lot of different kind of gaps because you haven't fully written. Like, I really only wrote out the first 3 issues, and then I did overviews of everything else and all the world building and all that. But now I'm so kind of confined to what happened in those first 3 issues that the continuity is huge. I think that's what gets people coming back, is keeping your story to a thread. Like, you really have to have something to pull on. So yeah, I mean, that's huge. Definitely make your continuity stick. Like, stay with your plans. And I mean, there's always ways around it. You can always kind of do little tricks to throw, like, oh, well, this happened in between these 2 scenes. But it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you know, I've always been the type of person, I don't want to see something that supposedly happened off panel. You know, I want to see the direction of it going in the panel. That's why it's called, you know, storyboarded. You're telling the story through the panels. With this, where can they find your stuff if they're looking for it out there in this world of now where everything's online?
Yeah.
And
so I have an Instagram for the page. It's Damien Shadow. I have Instagram for myself, Andy Bone Steel. The first 2 issues are on Comixology. I still have to get the 3rd one on Comixology. But they have that guided view on there, which makes it look fantastic. Definitely, if you're trying to produce your own book, get it on Comixology. Even if you don't make any money on it, it's just cool to see it like that. And then I also have my website, which is atomicrotation.com.
okay, cool. With this, as I always say, with the community, you say you go to a lot of shows, and as we're coming to the end, what makes you keep coming back to conventions?
The people. I just, there's something about, like, especially like little kids, when they walk up and their eyes just light up to some art that I did, and like, maybe part of me just absolutely hated the art, or like, I thought it was horrible, but like, somebody else really appreciates it. And it's, I don't know, it's just cool to talk to people like in your tribe, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in the world we live in today, like, people don't get out much.
That's true.
So it's nice to kind of see humans and actually like interact with people.
Yeah.
And when you can draw something for somebody that they wanted specifically, I don't know, it's just a cool connection that you can make.
Absolutely, and it keeps us where we're in the community and keep us all together and enjoying it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate this. And, with that, guys, that will be about it. I'll have all the stuff down in the links down below, and have a stuff. Let's share it.